Hello and welcome back. It's Alex Wise here with another walkthrough video of me editing one of my images. So you can probably tell my voice is quite croaky today. I've managed to pick up a cold from my twin 1.5-year-old boys. Fortunately, I don't think it's corona. I did get tested last night actually, because down here in Victoria, Australia, we have had a bit of a mad outbreak with I think 35 cases today, which is very high for Australia at the moment. So I thought I better do the right thing and get tested, but I should be okay. So yeah, look, apologies if it is a little bit hard to understand. So about this image, I generally found when I first got a drone, it was quite a bit of a challenge for me to edit my images, as I find the edits can be quite simple and minimalist. I'm often used to with landscape that the edits can be quite heavy. So I think I naturally tried to apply this technique when I first got a drone and my stuff just looked rubbish. So I've really tried to just dial it back and keep it simple, which is really what I'm keen to show you today, as I don't think you necessarily need to go overboard when editing drone images. I think a lot of people make the mistake of using color filters, presets, or LUTs, as they're also known in Premiere, which generally replicates influencers on Instagram with their colors that they use. That's all well and good, but I think everyone has their own style, and I don't think necessarily using someone else's color presets the way to go. So let's just quickly walk through how I'd look to edit this image. Just a little bit of this photo. So what I'm trying to do is really emphasize attention on the car in the frame, as I really like that. So first, what we're going to do, and sorry, just before I do, I have highlight clipping enabled up here, which is under histogram. So generally what this does, if you're not familiar with it, sorry for the cough, it just shows when the highlights start to clip in the image. So if I bump up highlights here, you can see the red lines expanding. That's due to the highlights starting to blow out. So I generally keep that enabled when I'm editing a drone image, as it sort of gives me a good reference around how the highlights are acting. So first, we're going to crop the image. I really want to get rid of this area in the top right hand corner and this part here. I'm not too phased with this bit up the top left and the middle left. It's more the other two areas that I don't really like. So I'm just going to crop these out like so. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep the car in about the middle to left of the frame, as you can see in the box. And I'm also now going to straighten the image. So I'm using the ruler tool. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab it from one side of the image to the other. I'm using the bridge as my alignment. Cool. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with my color temperature a little bit, just seeing what a bit warmer looks like or a bit colder. I'm preferring it if it's a little bit warmer. Just going to slightly dial back the highlights a little bit. And I'm just going to give the saturation a nudge. Now I'm going to select the tone curve and go to a curves adjustment on the image. From here, what I generally like to do is add a bit of contrast by adding shadows and darks to the image. So I'm going to punch these down. Yeah. And now I'm going to give the lights and highlights a bit of a push and pulling them up. Just noting there that my lights are starting to pop out. That's a super subtle adjustment I've made there. I'll just show you before and after. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a very subtle vignette to the image. You might hear my little boys in the background. Apologies. So I'm just going to create a radial filter while keeping parts to the bottom and top of the image exposed. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to slightly decrease the exposure, increase the contrast also. Cool. I'll just show you before and after of that. Super subtle again. And yeah, Look, that's all I would really do to this image. As I said, I do like to keep my drone stuff pretty simple, and I really just want to use this video as a way to show that you don't necessarily need to overdo your drone edits to get a nice image. If you can, try to nurture when you do get nice colors like this image, rather than painting color into the image, which I think sometimes can be a bit unnecessary. As always, if you have any questions about this video, feel free to add a comment. I'd be happy to help. And yeah, if you have any feedback also, always welcome. Thanks for watching. Bye.